sentimental mood?
Yeah.
You start.
D minor.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. My goodness. I don't know, as you're walking in, make sure you do some stretches because this music just gets you to move. I don't want anybody to hurt themselves like I almost did from all the neck movement like this. Look at that. Right? I can't help myself. Yeah, come on in, everyone. Shabbat Shalom.
To allow your prayer to take over your whole physical self as well as your intellectual self, and to join us with a lot of joy this evening. Shabbat Shalom.
All right, come on in, everyone. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
Is there a B'nai Mitzvah family here yet? They are. Oh, good. Noah's there. Excellent. Excellent. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Yeah. We're going to do, let's do Dodi.
Okay, so top of the liturgy.
Yeah, look at all these people. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Shabbat Shalom. Come on in, everybody.
Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2.
Dodi viva ani lo ha ho
All right, everybody, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
All right, Cantor, Kerith, here's the thing. You don't do that because we're going to hear if they can actually say Shabbat Shalom because I heard your mic.
I get excited though.
I know. Look, I appreciate your excitement. That's why I let you do it the first. Wrong choice of words. That's why I was like, great, she's going to do it the first time. Let's try that again. Here we go. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Look at this. This is so fantastic and wonderful. So I don't know about you. As we were coming in, I want to make sure, as we begin, first, my name is David Eshel. I'm one of our rabbis here at Wilshire Boulevard Temple. For those of you who I don't know yet, key word being yet, I look forward to the opportunity to get to know you and speak to you and everything, and maybe afterwards, stay with us for some fabulous treats. We got some fabulous treats for you for afterwards that are just absolutely 110% delicious. If you've never had Portos before, you're in for something really spectacular. I know. Did you hear that? There was a ooh. I heard the ooh. That was good. That was really good. So thank you so much for joining tonight, coming in for Shabbat. As in a moment, I'm going to invite you to turn around to the people that you know, the people you don't, and wish them a big Shabbat Shalom. And as you're doing that, also give a little stretch to your neck, to your shoulders. Give yourself a little bit of love, a little bit of shaking, a little bit of stretching, a little bit of neck movement, because you will be, but you can't help but move to this amazing music that we're going to have this evening as we journey to Cuba and Miami, via Spain, via Turkey, via Eastern Europe. It's going to be all over and you'll see what I mean in a little bit when we talk about that more. I'm on the beat with Cantor, Kerith Shapiro.
That's me.
And Cantor Shapiro, maybe you want to introduce the band?
Yeah. So I'm going to introduce my amazing band here. We've got Aaron Sarfati over here on percussion. So happy to have you with us here this evening. And we have Euro Zambrano on the congas. Thank you, Euro. Jonathan Pintoff, who's a regular here, keeping it real on the bass over there. And we're so happy to welcome Sergei Kasimov on the keys. These are all amazing purveyors of Cuban music, and we're celebrating the Jewish life of Cuba this evening. We're really happy to do that with all of you.
So we also have, and I'm going to put you on the spot, and I'm sorry. We also have some new members who are joining us, who are new to our community, new to Wilshire Boulevard Temple. Maybe you just raise your hand just so we can acknowledge you. Yes, we've got some new members over here, new members over here, new members. Oh, so wonderful to have you. Please, please, please make sure stick around afterwards so we can all talk and schmooze and start really getting to know each other. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're gonna talk to you again in a little bit. Sorry to put you on the spot. Well, really, sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. But
we're going to invite up our B'nai Mitzvah family at this time to join us right down here as we bring a little bit of light in to welcome Shabbat in at this time. And you can join us with the candle lighting blessings on page 2 of your Siddur, as Noah leads us in lighting the Shabbat candles. Light them first. Very good.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav
Thank you. And I'm gonna
That
ask
was
the
beautiful.
family to
Wow.
sit here
I wasn't expecting that voice. That was
Uh-huh.
great.
Gorgeous, gorgeous voice. I was expecting that voice because I had the pleasure of getting to study with Noah through these months. So if you would read here as these lights,
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Amen. Thank you so much, the Weisberg family. You can have a seat, and we'll be calling on you a little later, Noah, to help us out some more. So we're going to turn now to page 10 for Hine Matov. But before we do, I need to point out a very, very, very important aspect of Cuban music for you. And I know Risa knows this because she was on our Zoom where Aaron gave us some teachings about Cuban music. Call and response. Call and response is really, really important in Cuban music. So when I chose the settings we're going to do this evening, I made sure to find some of our regular standard Shabbat melodies that had call and response in there. So I can call, but it's kind of weird to talk to yourself or even to sing to yourself. So I cannot do the responses. That is your job. Now, it's been a while for many of us since we have been in a space like this with other people. You may be feeling a little overwhelmed, perhaps joyfully, perhaps it's a little bit anxiety-provoking. So, I invited my wonderful voice teacher, Sarah Lieb, to join us this evening. She's also a really close friend of mine and an amazing performer, jazz singer in her own right. Sarah's gonna come up, and whenever there's a song that has a call and response part in it, she's gonna do the responses, so you can just follow along with her. I'm making it super easy for you. Because I want to hear your voices. I have missed your voices so much. And so let's fill up this sanctuary, this sacred space, with our voices this evening as we sing these words of Hine Matov, how good it is, how great it is for us all to be together. I'm seeing some familiar faces who I haven't seen in a really long time out there. And boy, it is just filling my heart with joy. Hine Matov, page 10.
1, 2, 3, 4.
גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ובנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, שבת אחים גם יחד, שבת אחים גם יחד. Thank you, Sarah.
Yes, Sarita.
We're going to continue on page 13 with these words, Ya'aloz Sadai. Comparing ourselves to the natural world, we're going to rejoice.
1, 2, 3.
Solo time. There we go. To the B section. As you're gonna do what I say, 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 יעלות שדי בכל אשר בו יעלות שדי. Ay, 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 יעלות שדי בכל אשר בו יעלות שדי. Ay, 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 ay,
So you know what we can do when we in synagogue? Here's what we can do. In place of the claps, in place of the clapping, here we can do some snaps. That's what we do at camp. We do all about the snaps. Or does anybody know what was Miriam playing when she was leading the people? What was she playing when she was leading the people? The timbrels. What is a timbrel? It's like a tambourine. So we also got these things called silent timbrels. Look at this. Ooh. I'm shaking my timbrels. I'm a timbrel shaker. So this is also one of the ways, like when we're in synagogue, when we're in services together, as a way of acknowledging our enjoyment and it's basically our silent amen, right? It's our silent amen. So why don't we try that? Choose your of choice, right? Your snaps or your. Look at that. Oh, you got one. Hey, if you brought your maracas, if you brought your Shabbat maracas, your shabakas. If you with you, you're more than welcome to use those too. with that. So let's continue now with Lecha Dodi as we welcome the Sabbath Bride. We're going to be on pages 20 and 21. What verses are we going to be doing tonight, Cantor, Shapiro?
It's the regular ones, which are 1,
2, 5, and 9.
Right. Those are the ones.
Inspired choice. All to please rise as we face the entrance and greet the Sabbath Bride.
Who are joining us for the first time, don't sit all the way down. The rest of you can have a seat. And for our new families, we're going to invite you to come please join us on the ark, up in front of the ark here. You're very special to us. We want to welcome you and offer you a special blessing in front of the ark.
Come on up, come on up.
So this is the actual quarter.
Beautiful. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Come on on up. Yeah, I'm gonna stand over here. That's okay. All right. Beautiful. Welcome, everyone. So it's quite fitting that we have these phenomenal human beings up here with us today. Right, we're just closing out Purim. Right, we're just closing out Purim, and we're entering into our Shabbat, where we're focusing on the story of Cuba, the music of Cuba. And what was the way that Esther stood up, right? What would happen there? She actually, nobody knew that she was Jewish, right? She kept herself hidden. And it was only until she was really needed that she stood up and brought her true self out to the community, to the world. And that's where the strength comes from, right? From individuals creating that strength as a community to stand up and not be afraid to say and bring out to the world who you are. And by joining a community, a congregation, right? That's exactly what you're doing. Right? You are putting your lot. What does Purim translate to? The lots. It's like drawing your lot. You are putting your lot with your people officially and openly, saying that I'm Jewish, and that means something. That means that taking a responsibility to create something beautiful, not only for your family, but for the greater Jewish family. And we are so much better off now because of you.
Amen.
So we welcome you, and we want to offer you this blessing that has been offered to our people for thousands of years. May God bless you and protect you. May God always shine upon you and be kind to you. May you always know that God is close, and may God grant you the greatest of all blessings, the blessing of peace. And let us all say, Amen. Beautiful. Mazel tov, mazel tov. Shabbat shalom. And now I welcome you back to your seat so we can continue together. Fabulous.
No, we go straight into Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShavit, Malachei
On page 26. Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
feet for this moment. You know, in our prayer service, everything we've done up until now is like the warm-up. And being in this space is so special for me. I remember the first time I walked into this space and saw these windows and just felt filled with holiness. And so as we say these words of the Baruch Hu, it's really a moment to invite God into this space. The truth is, we don't have to invite God in, God's there. But the inviting is about recognizing holiness in our lives. So I will invite all of you to join me in inviting that holiness in and recognizing it with the Baruch Hu on page 28. Page 28, Baruch Hu.
Ready?
Baruch Hu et Adonai, We continue with Shema
1, 2.
34.
Be seated. So before we call up our B'nai Mitzvah to lead us in Ve'ahavta, and usually what happens, right from the Shema, you go straight into the Ve'ahavta, like you're not really, I don't want to say supposed to, as, you know, liberal, small L, progressive, small P, Jews, right? We are supposed to, penciled, right? So, but I have to share this story with you before we get into the Ve'ahavta. Okay, so, for those of you who aren't aware, Rabbi Shapiro helped to create, and now at Wilshire Boulevard Temple, a really phenomenal program called Choosing Judaism, right? New types of gateways to enter into a community and learn about Jewish community, Jewish religion, Jewish self, and for many who will often choose to then go through conversion. So, okay, so this was amazing. So one of our recent candidates, who is now Jewish, she was telling us a story about her family. She was Cuban, and she was telling us a story about her family, where she asked her mom, why does Grandpa always, when he leaves our house or when he comes in our house, he like touches the door frame and kisses his hand. There's nothing, right? There's nothing there, but he's touching the door frame and then he's kissing our hand. Or why is it that when somebody close in our family passes away, we're covering the mirrors? Why do we do that? And the answer her mother gave was, because we're Cuban. So she thought, well, that's a Cuban tradition, right? And she grew up here. But then she started when she was, I believe, in Miami, or meeting a greater like Jewish or Cuban community, or she was like, you guys do this thing where you touch the door? No, what are you talking about? I was like, wow, that's not a Cuban thing. So she was doing more research, and it turns out that her family goes way back in Cuba. So in Cuban Jewish community, they're like considered four different Jewish groups who came to Cuba and then became one community. And the one that she apparently is descended from, the ones who came over during the time of the Inquisition, and that were Marrano Jews, or the hidden Jews. And one of the places that they came to was the island of Cuba. So they were doing these Jewish things, but in a hidden way, right? Not putting up a mezuzah, but still giving the kiss, right? Touching the doorframe as a way of holding on to tradition. But then what happens is the meanings behind that kind of get lost, but the actions, right? The muscle memory was still there, right? So her family actually dates back to that time in Cuba. We'll talk a little bit more about some of the others. But why did I stop here with that? So what is in the mezuzah? Does anybody know what's written on the stone? What is it? The Shema and the Ve'ahavta. The Shema and the Ve'ahavta, because it says, and you shall place them on the doorpost of your houses, right? So there it was, in her blood, in her muscle memory. Seeing Grandpa, why is he doing that? Because he's Cuban. No, because he's actually also Jewish, right? So there it is, the muscle memory that we never lose. And that plays out in our stories all over the world as a diaspora people, right? As refugee people, as displaced people. How do we hang on to that muscle memory and who we are? Right? We're going to talk a little bit more about that later as well. So now, I would like to invite our Rabbi Mitzvah to lead us in Ve'ahavta.
We are on page 36 for the Ve'ahavta. When should I start? Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha v'hayu Asher Anochi Mitzavecha Hayom Al Levavecha V'shinantam Levanecha V'dibarta Pam V'shivtecha B'veitecha Uvlechtecha B'derech Uvshochbecha Uvkumecha Uchshartam leot al yadecha V'hayu letotafot bein einecha Uchtavtam al mezuzot beotecha Uvisharecha Leman tiskeru Vasitem et kol mitzvotai vitem kedoshim lelechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihot lachem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem
We're going to continue now with our song of freedom, Mi Chamocha.
This is the one with Afro blue. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Just hearing your voices. We're going to continue with Vishamru on page 44.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Shamru call upon Noah to join us once again. And we will turn and join Noah on page 48 for the Amidah. And I'll invite you also to rise once more if you are able. Sorry, page 46. I almost gave Noah a heart attack. Thank you. We got you. Adonai Shabbat Tivkach Ufi Agi Techilatecha Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu V'Kimotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora Elayom Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Komei Hakol V'Zocher Hasei Avot V'Himahot U'Mevi Ge'ula Livnei V'Neichem L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahavach Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magin Baruch Atah Adonai Magin Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei HaKol Atah Rab Le'Hoshia Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem Mechalel Chaim Bechesed Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Ramim Somech Noflim Bezufei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umechayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot Umidomech Lach Melech Memit Umechayeh Umatzir Yeshua Venet Eman Ata Lechachayot HaKol Baruch Atah Adonai Mechayei HaKol.
Beautiful. So now we're going to continue silently with Tfilat Halev, the prayers, meditations, and thoughts of your heart. And when you feel like you are finished, you may be seated. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So I'm going to share with you a story, a really beautiful story that I found, written by a woman whose family comes from Cuba, a Jewish woman whose family comes from Cuba, and it was a way she created this story based on folk tales of journey of her family and the greater Cuban Jewish community as a way of explaining and teaching it to her children. That we are a people of movement, right? We are a people of the diaspora. We're a people of dispersion, refugees seeking a new life, better life, safer life, really just also survival, but also knowing that any moment our bags should be packed and ready to go. So this story is called Tia Fortuna's New Home. I love to visit my Tia Fortuna in her little pink casita at the seaway. When my auntie was young, she lived on the other side of the sea in Havana. From her rooftop, she waved to the ships as they came into the harbor. But one day, Tia had to leave with nothing but a suitcase of old photographs and the Mezuzah that hung on her doorpost, and a key to that home gone forever. She felt lost and wept many tears for years until she found her casita at the seaway. She has lived there in Miami for years and years. Today is Tia's last day at the seaway. Why do you have to move, Tia? Bulldozers are coming to tear down the seaway. A fancy hotel will be built here. What will happen to your pink casita? My home will be a memory. Tia touches the key from her home in Havana that now lays on a necklace. Like the home I left in Havana, a memory. But I want to visit you at the seaway today and next Friday and always. Estrella, my star, it is time to say goodbye and wish for Mazal Bueno. Tia gives me a hug and her lucky eye bracelets tinkle and twinkle. Come, Estrella, vamos a la playa. The beach wants to greet us. We kick off our sandals and breathe in the salty air. Look at the bright blue sky. The sun gives everyone its light for free. Sol, sol, sol. The sea roars all night, and now it's tickling our feet. El mar, el mar. This, she says, Tia sinks down into the sand. What a pretty casita you're making, she says. How can Tia be happy on such a sad day? Tomorrow the sandcastles will be gone, just like her home in Havana, and so will we. It's not mañana yet, Estrella. Let's enjoy today. When we get back to the seaway, Tia serves me warm borrecas. How do you make borrecas taste so delicious, Tia? I'll tell you my secret. I fill them with potatoes and cheese and esperanza, hope. How can borrecas be filled with hope? Because they are the food of your grandfathers, 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 and your grandmother's grandmother's grandmothers. They took them from Spain to Turkey to Cuba, and now we eat them here in Miami. The smiles, oh, Esperanza, the smiles. We come from a people who found hope wherever they went. Esperanza, 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 I say. And I help Tia pack a box with the rest of the borrecas. Is that all you're bringing with you, I ask? I point to the suitcase in the corner with just a few things folded. Candlesticks, some clothing, and books, pictures. I don't need much, she replies. I have so many memories in my suitcase right here. And she points to her head. Mommy arrives, and she's in a rush. Wait, Tia says, I need to get my good luck mezuzah. But Tia's mezuzah is so crusted with the sea salt, it won't budge. Finally, Tia asks, Mezuzah, will you please come with me? And it pops right off. Tia locks the door and slips the big brass key in her pocket. Goodbye, goodbye, Miss Palmeras, goodbye, she whispers. My palmeras, my palm trees, swooshing, answer her. Adios, adios. We leave the sea behind and drive toward the banyan trees and the butterflies. At the front gate, I feel Tia's hand trembling. Tia, where are we? Las Casa de los Viejitos, Tia says. She leans against a banyan tree and runs her hand along its rooty trunk. Hello, glad to meet you. You've been here a while, haven't you? Not like me. The banyan tree nods its head to Tia, and Tia says, Hola. We step inside, and Tia says, let's share the borekas with everyone we meet, our new friends in our new Jewish home. Soon they're all saying thank you. Ah, toda, gracias, merci, danke, shukran. All these Jewish languages that are also other languages. You are so welcome. Tia replies and makes new friends right away. The lady next door to Tia's room hears us speaking Spanish. I once lived by the port of Havana too, and waved to the ships, she said. So did I, Tia tells her. Oh, I'm so glad we're neighbors. They laugh together like old friends. Mommy carries Tia's suitcase. I help nail the salty mezuzah to the new doorpost. I arrange Tia's pillows on her bed. Here's a good place for your photo albums, I say to Tia. Gracias, Estrelita. It's starting to feel so cozy already, Tia says. She gives me a hug, and her lucky eye bracelets tinkle and twinkle. Tia, next time I visit, we'll sit in the garden and watch the butterflies, the mariposas, dance. Mashallah, God willing, Tia says. Until then, here's a gift for you, Estrella. Look, Tia, I'll carry it with me forever. She puts something cool in my palm and squeezes my hand around it. It's the key to the seaway. It's the key from Havana. Yes, I will carry with it always. And as soon as I slip the big brass key around my neck, I hear the sea laughing and smell the salty air. I can see the grandmothers and the grandfathers from so long ago carrying borekas from Spain to Turkey to Cuba to Miami. At the front gate, we watch the night spread its blanket over the world. Look, Tia, the first star is lighting up the darkness everywhere. Estrella, she replies, Estrella. Tia gives me a goodbye hug, and I turn down the path, and I whisper, Mazel Bueno, into the starry night. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Rabbi, you know, as you were reading that beautiful story, it struck me that when we've done Shabbat Zimrah before, you've shared stories, folk tales, old ancient folk tales of the people from the area that we're exploring. And as you shared something new today, it made me think about a trip to Cuba that we took before the congregations merged. And I see Judy Pies out there. Judy, will you wave? Will you wave hi? So, okay, and Susan Rosenstein, will you wave too? She's outside. Susan's outside. Many of you know who she is. So Judy and Susan came to Cuba we did a mission to Cuba, and we visited the Jewish communities throughout Cuba, and we brought a lot of much needed supplies with us when we were there. It was an amazing trip, and the reason that I asked you to wave is because I don't have time to tell you all about our trip. So find us at the Oneg while we're enjoying, and also you can find Judy and Susan. We can tell you how amazing our trip was, and hopefully one day we'll go back there together. because the people there need a lot of help. But what I wanted to share about this story is that as we were traveling around Cuba, I brought like a special device to make sure that I could plug it into my cell phone and capture people's voices, because I had this great idea that I was going to ask people about songs that had been handed down to them, and then that maybe I could learn some of these songs. And the fist of communism as it played out in Cuba was so hard that there were no songs. There were no songs from the Jewish tradition that had been passed down from generation to generation. It was heartbreaking for me because in many other lands, even though the Jews had been oppressed, there were folkways that were carried down, but it was had to be so hidden that it couldn't be passed down. So I usually do a little song from the culture after Rabbi shares a beautiful story. So I had to use my imagination a little bit today too. And what I'm bringing to you all is a Ladino melody. The language that it's in is called either Ladino or Judeo-Espanol. And it's the language of the Jews who were expelled from Spain, and so it is mostly a Spanish-sounding language with a few Hebrew words thrown in. But this is a crazy story in this song. It's a story of how the angels, and I see Rabbi Davids is here, so maybe you've heard of this midrash before, because neither Rabbi Eshel nor I had heard of it before. If anyone knows this midrash, it's in this song that you're going to hear about. And the story is that the angels are jealous of Moses. The angels are jealous of Moses because Moses had this special relationship with God. So I don't know where this midrash comes from, but it's a really fascinating take on this. And you're going to hear the language of Judeo-Espanol. And our wonderful band joining us. The song is called Allí en el Midbar, There in the Desert.
It's in 2. 1, 2, 1, and 2.
Allí en
All right, Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
So before we continue, just a few brief announcements. There they go. Here it is. Fabulous, wonderful, fantastic. We got some. Here we go. This is going to be really, really special. Tomorrow or Sunday evening. I guess is 4 o'clock considered evening? 6 o'clock is considered evening. So what's 4 o'clock?
Afternoon.
What's that?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock is afternoon. Okay, so late afternoon on Sunday at 4 p.m. Yeah, I believe it is.
Check the website.
Because of the marathon.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, all right.
6 p.m. Okay, got it. Stop yelling at me. Yes, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. We're going to be here for, this is going to be really, really important and special. A classical concert Purim fundraiser for Ukraine. So we're going to be here at the university campus at 6 p.m. with acclaimed Los Angeles virtuosos and WBT congregants. We have Jason Lippman, cellist from the Los Angeles Philharmonic, Karen Schweitzer, flautist who has performed with the Los Angeles Philharmonic and Yo-Yo Ma and Silk Road Ensemble. Dennis Karmazin, am I totally butchering that? Is that right? Phenomenal cellist who has performed with the American Ballet and the Bolshoi and Kerith Ballet, Hollywood Bowl Orchestra, Vanessa Fidel.
Yeah, but he's best known for playing Kol Nidre on this bima.
Or that, okay. The pianist and professor of music for the Colbert School. But in all seriousness, this is an opportunity for us to, yes, remember our Purim story. And what is the Purim story really about? It's about standing up for those who can't necessarily stand up for themselves and being that person to put yourself out there. And that's what we're doing. We're going to get together celebrating Purim in that way. Yes, listening and really feeling beautiful music, but also raising money to help those who are truly, truly, truly in need. So please, please, please join us. You can sign up online and also donate online as well. So with that, also want to give a big warm welcome again to our new members. Make sure that we have an opportunity we can mingle afterwards. Because afterwards we are going to be eating some yummy food right outside. Cantor Shapiro, maybe we can thank the band one more time.
Yeah, I wanna just thank our band so much for bringing so much joy this evening. You know, it's a mitzvah to say our prayers together, but when we add this level of musicianship, it's called Hidur Mitzvah. It's beautifying the mitzvot, so you all helped us engage in that this evening. So I want to thank you so much for joining us, and special thanks also to Sarah for stepping in, and also, you know, you all were part of the band this evening because I feel like we have to get this particular group together again because you sing beautifully. So thank you. We're going to lift our voices in song together once more.
Well, first of all, also, Noah, big mazel.
Oh, yeah.
Big mazel, Noah,
Big
Noah's
mazel.
family for the B'nai Mitzvah tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's going to be awesome. You did a beautiful
True.
job tonight. Thank you so much for leading us.
Yeah.
So now we're going to take the time to think about those in our lives who may be in need of healing. I'm sure we can think of one or two in these days. Whether in our family, our friends, our community, our world. If you were thinking of anyone in particular today, I'm going to invite you to say those names now in your hearts as we continue with a Mishaberach prayer for healing. We now take the time to think about those in our lives, in our families, our communities, who are no longer with us. The following are those in our community who have died in the past 30 days, the past shloshim. Solly Berman, Ted Bird, Yehuchun Hochan, Hillary Turtletop Costin, Coco Connor, Mike Culver, Alan Elliott Fierstein, Stanley Goldclamp, Linda Hockman, J.C. Nadell, Mehdi Porsalmi, Gideon Rosner, Marcel Reisenberg, Jane Scheiber, Teresa Shapiro, Donald Van, Pearl Yeager, Nancy Zeman. If you are here for the shloshim, the loved one has died in the last 30 days, I invite you to please rise and remain standing so we may support you. Now, the following are the names of those who the memorial of their death fell during this past week. Ruth Anyon, Robert Bobert, Vernon Lee Bell, Alice Berkowitz, Vera Barron, Harold Brinkrant, Sam Bluestone, Julius Steve Brody, Harold Chessel, Paul Scott Cohen, Helen Waxler Coleman, Joel Davidson, Mitchell James Dresser, Harriet Ellis, Bess Epstein, Morris Feinberg, Marty Feldman, Ray Fenton, Evelyn Fox, Alan Friedman, Doug Gerson, Philip Ginsberg, Aaron Glickman, Harold Globe, Helen Goldfeder, David Goodman, Warren Goodman, Stephen Grad, Anna Greenberg, Ruth Grosser, Henry Harar, Jack Harris, Richard Horowitz, Rhodes Jaffe, Ralph Kalish, Moran Kaplan, Ann Kaplan, Lee Kimak, Carol Klein, Carl Klein, Anna Klein, Selma Konitz, Gary Kress, Ed Landa, Monty Albert Lauder, Richard Carl Levy, Faye Levitt, Larry Lindman, Ann Liddy, Samuel Lauderman, Russell Lomsack, Yusuf Mahubibian Fard, Yigal Macover, Gail Mayerson, Al Michaels, Samuel Michaels, Moshe Namvar, Carol Nyman, Mort Newman, Saul Newman, Leonard Perlman, Raymond Perlov, Myrtle Lork Faisler, Paul Garfield Phelps, Simon Plattis, William Pollop, Michael Portis, Dennis Price, William Pryor, Ann Robinson, Pauline Rose, Florence Rose, Helen Rosen, Irv Rubenstein, Fanny Rubenstein, Vera Solomons, Arlene Schwab, Nima Schwartz, Ruth Schwartz, Larry Schwimmer, Betty Shanbrom, Joel Shanbrom, Harry Shane, Susan Shaw, Buddy Schreier, Joel Sampson, Marion Smook, Avril Solar, Susan Sriri, Randy Stein, Natalie Stein, Betty Strawgate, Saeed Tabibi, Robert Tuchin, Arthur Tucker, Norman Turtle, Roland Wallen, Libby Wolf, Margalit Zadok. If you are here for the memorial, the death of a loved one who fell during this past week, I invite you now to please rise and remain standing so that we may support you. We also add to those names all of those who have died defending the United States of America, all of those who have died defending the state of Israel, all of those who have died as senseless acts of terror around the world, all of those who have died in this war in Ukraine, all of those who have died with COVID-19, and all of those who have no one to say the mourner's Kaddish, the mourner's prayer for them. And finally, if you are thinking of anyone else today, or if I have mispronounced a name that you know of, I invite you to say those names now in your hearts. And now with that, I invite all of us to rise to support those in our community thinking of someone today. We're on page 294, the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, be'oma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'gala uv'izman kariv v'yamru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam omer maya. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה על שמי קודשם בריחו לאל מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תאמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
So we're going to remain standing for Kiddush and Motzi. Noah, bring your family up right over here. Here we go.
The rest of us can turn to page 4. Page 5, sorry about that. I know. No, if you can get through tonight, you'll be great tomorrow.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'etzavanu v'shabbat kadsho be'ahava uvratzon himchilanu zikaron lemase v'reif shit ki hu yom techilach lemikraye kodesh zeher litziat mitzrayim kivan Chaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen.
All right, now we're gonna take this column. Come over here. Siblings, everybody, come on over. Give this to you. Come on over, everybody. Hold on to it, 'cause you're gonna be pulling it apart in a second. I don't know what you do like this. You gotta grab on, pulling hands. In a second, not yet. Here we go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'tei Avon Shabbat Shalom.